Hey everyone, good evening to all. Hi everyone. Certificate मिलेगा? Yes, you will get the certificate and it's free. It will be available to you all to download on day 2 of this bootcamp. So, hi everyone. Am I audible to you all? Just give me a heads up in the chat, please. Good evening, Deepak. Good morning. It's good evening, Sukhwinder. So, am I audible and visible to you all clearly? Yes or no? Hello, yeah. How much duration? Okay. So I will give you all a brief about this bootcamp. So first of all, my name is Anam Khan. I'm one of the team member at LetsUpgrade, and I welcome you all to the Canva bootcamp of 2 days. This bootcamp is for 2 days and 2 hours each day. So any so yeah and for that for and there is a free certificate for this boot camp, and if you want the certificate, just remember to mark your attendance for the next 2 days. And assessment for there is no assessment, but you can practice along with the trainer. And if there is any doubt anywhere you stuck, you can ask the trainer. The trainer is Twinkle ma'am. She will be there. She will be teaching you the Canva designs for the next 2 days. So I hope you all are excited and ready to start from scratch. Okay. You will get the certificate by marking the attendance. I will share my screen quickly and give you all the demo, like how to mark your attendance and everything. Okay. Just give me a minute. The session will be in both in Hindi and English. So do not worry about the language barrier, and the session recording will be there on our YouTube channel. So yeah, you will be getting to see the recording also. How to mark attendance, I will show you. Wait, let me share my screen. So I hope you all can see my screen as well. Just give me a heads up, or put some heart in the chat, so I will let to know, like, yes, my screen is visible to you all. इशाक, टू गेट द सर्टिफिकेट लेने के लिए आपको अटेंडेंस मार्क करना पड़ेगा, एंड दिस ये 2 दिन का बूट कैम्प है, 2 hours each डे. सो टू गेट द सर्टिफिकेट आपको अटेंडेंस आज और कल दोनों दिन मार्क करना पड़ेगा, और कल जब सेशन खत्म होगा तो आपको सर्टिफिकेट डाउनलोड करने के लिए मिल जाएगा. ओके, सो थैंक यू गाइस फॉर योर रिस्पॉन्स. So let's move ahead. And here in the description box, here you can see for attendance, there is one link. We call it as one link. As for registration, attendance, enrollment, certificate, for everything, you can come to this one place. You can get everything from this one place. So click on this link, and it will take you to the another page where you need to first enroll for the boot camp. Then only you will get to mark your attendance. I have already enrolled as of now. And here, when you scroll down the page, so below this day one title, here you can see mark attendance toggle. Click here. Ratings scale will open the feedback box where you need to rate the session, how much you liked it, and give the feedback here in this box. I will suggest that please make sure, please put the attendance after the session. You can mark your attendance anytime within these 2 days of boot camp. So so you will be able to give the honest feedback. And here for now I will give 10 on 10, and here is the rating feedback box. For now I will put nothing and just click on mark attendance. Okay, so now when I mark here, my progress bar has increased. It will increase day by day as you mark your attendance, and for now it is 50%. So on day 2 it will become 100%, and the certificate will unlock just below this progress bar. You will get to download your certificate. So do not spam in the chat again and again where we can find the certificate, when it will be open and everything. So just after the session on day 2, come on the same page, mark your attendance, and get the certificate from this one page itself. Okay. And also, guys, we have communities, WhatsApp and Discord, where we put daily reminders, upcoming events, and many more things are there. You will be updated with us. Let's upgrade. So make sure that you join our channel, our community, to get daily updates. And one more thing, we have student ambassador program, which is a 1 month free program. You will be the ambassador for Let's Upgrade, where you will represent Let's Upgrade at your college, within your colleagues, within your friends, and everywhere. You will also be able to, like, attend workshops, exclusive workshops, and also give your workshop. And there are also certain based on the target, you will also get this gold, silver, bronze kits. Many more things are there. And we also give away this iPad, gaming chair, smartwatch, earbuds, t-shirt, Amazon coupons. Many more things are there. Just make sure that you are applying for this. You can apply for this by clicking on this apply now button and fill out form. Our team will reach out to you. They will give you ping you. And also the next batch will start from 1st March. So make sure that you apply for this ambassador program before 1st March. And guys, we have one documentation for you all. Okay, so where you can find all the notes, all the links, all the resources there. If ma'am shares any of the links, any of the resources, we will make sure that we upload it here, and you can find it at this one place. Okay, so here also there is the session links, the notes is there. Okay, and yeah, so if ma'am shares any of the resources, we will put it here, so do not spam in the chat again for the resources and everything. So yeah, that was all from my side. If you have any doubt regarding the attendance or let's upgrade side, please reach out. Please put it in the chat. Our moderators will be there to answer your queries. And related to the Canva bootcamp, the trainer will speak clear your doubts. Okay, सर्टिफिकेट कब मिलेगा? सर्टिफिकेट कल आफ्टर 8 p.m. आपको मिलेगा. Okay, so I think your doubts are clear to how to mark the attendance. And also one more thing, we have the WhatsApp community link here in the chat. If you want, please make sure that you join the community. Okay, so let's move ahead and call the trainer. So hi ma'am, good evening.
Hi, Nam. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. So I have given them the attendance demo. You can start with the session and I will take the leave. The session is all yours. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
everyone. Bye bye.
Hi, guys. Good evening. Let's get super active in the chat. Show me that you all are listening. How are you doing this evening? All good? So, I would want to know what made you attend this workshop. What do you want to learn? I mean, of course, we are going to take a walk through Canva, but of course, that is a given. What do you want to use Canva for? What do you want to get out of this workshop? What is your end goal? What do you want to do? Somebody wants to design a poster, improve my skills. Okay. Editing, I want to learn editing. Okay. Digital marketing, great. New techniques, explore features on Canva, editing, graphic design, PPTs, posters. Okay, great, great. Thumbnails. Right, right. So one of the topics that I was gonna cover today was Canva कहाँ पे use होता है. I understand that some of you prefer Hindi. Okay, I will try and थोड़ा English, थोड़ा Hindi. Let me know कौन सा ज़्यादा prefer करते हो. All right. So पहला पॉइंट जो कवर करना था दैट वाज प्राइमरीली कैनवा कहाँ कहाँ पे यूज होता है but I see that a good amount of people already are aware कि कैनवा कहाँ कहाँ यूज होता है क्या क्या चीज़ें उससे सीख सकते हैं so that is very great okay all right let's get started how many of you have an account on Canva how many of you have used Canva before कितने लोगों ने पहले कैनवा यूज किया है अब दे क्रिएटेड अ डिजाइन कुछ भी पोस्टर पीपीटी कुछ भी बनाया उसके ऊपर जस्ट क्विकली लेट मी नो ओके ओके Great. I think a lot of you have worked on Canva before. That's great. So Canva is a multi-purpose tool. It has so many features. Uske andar you can create a presentation, you can create social media graphics, you can edit videos, you can create thumbnails or even your CV or reel bhi edit kar sakte hain uske upar. It's just like, it has so much potential. and it is very, I mean, I personally think that it is an underrated tool. बहुत सारे tools like Photoshop और Illustrator type के tools थोड़े से overwhelming हो जाते हैं, but at the same time Canva is very easy to use, and at the same time the amount of features वो regularly इसको upgrade करते रहते हैं. They have added a bunch of AI driven features, so I think that is something that is really cool about Canva. So let's get started. I will just quickly present my screen. Let me know if it is visible. I have the chat opened on the side. Uh, Guys, if anybody has any questions about the certificate, just hold on. And once the session has ended, you can just go back to the beginning of the session where Anam very thoroughly explained how you can get your certificate. Okay, so I logged in into Canva. This is a free account, and I'm just going to expand the screen for a little bit just so everybody sees what all is there. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna just keep it. Uh, don't do Hindi. Okay, so it's not just your own preference. I mean, there are a bunch of people who are here, and okay, so all right, let's just try to cater to everybody or as many people as possible. Okay, so basically, Canva is a one stop shop. You think of it, and Canva has a feature to help you design it. Uh, Canva free module is pretty good. I mean, if you're a student or somebody who just got into designing and बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा खर्च नहीं करना, and maybe looking to just level up. So I think the free version is an ideal choice. Of course, you can always choose or maybe explore. So for example, if I choose to upgrade, the monthly plan is only 500 rupees, and I think that is enough time to understand if the pro subscription will add value to you or not. But then again, that is something that you will only know once you've explored all the free features. And trust me, there are plenty. There are so many features that I don't think even I have used all of them till this date, and I've been using Canva for roughly 6 to 7 years. But anyways, so Canva, okay, so let's start with understanding this landing page, this home page of Canva. So on the left side, I have my shortcuts, accessing home. If I have created any projects, if I have any templates that I've saved. Brand palette creation is a paid tool, so that is something that we can maybe look into later on. Then there are a bunch of applications that I can use to kind of help me design better. For example, as a designer, I have the hardest time in creating a mockup or blurring the background or removing the background. So for tools like this, for sorry, features like this, I have to switch between multiple tools. For example, if I have to remove a background and I have no other tool, or let's say I'm not on Canva right now, so I go to either Adobe Express, and then I have to log in, or I go to remove.bg. But at the same time, on that site, the for the free account, I think, or without a login, the quality that they share is not very great. So all in all, I mean, I have to switch between multiple tools and like just scatter myself here and there just to get a simple image edited. But that is where Canva plays a massive role, that it has integrated with so many applications. For example, if we see, it creates high quality vector images, it can generate logo for you, it can generate QR codes for you, and not just QR codes, it's QR art, artistic QR codes from your idea with AI. And these are just the most recent plugins that it has added. And I think typography or Google Ads, maybe adding music or frame maker. If you want your image to be in a particular frame, all you have to do is just select a frame from here, drag and drop your image directly, and you're done. So again, these are all the categories Canva has a plugin for or an integration with. So you just need to directly just search for what you require, and then you are set, you are good to go. Okay. All right. So coming back to my homepage. Now, this is the panel right next to my leftmost layer. So this is where my recent designs go. Anything that I have opened recently will just show up here for ease of access. And of course, it has a shortcut to create a design. Uh, okay. Uh, Speak in Hindi. Okay. All right. Uh, so Canva admin panel you can access yahan se just clicking on this button that says upgrade to Canva Pro. And of course, if you are multiple people, get a team plan instead, or if you want to just test it out of you're a single independent designer, then maybe you can just get the solo subscription. All right. So apart from this, you have a search bar in which you can just directly search for any design. For example, let's say I need to create a social media post. So I'm just gonna search for social media post, and so designs created by you. These are the designs that I used. They are not necessarily created by me, but I interacted with them at some point. 68 designs that I used. Maybe the frame was of Instagram, or maybe I used a template that looks or has a category tag of Instagram ad. But simply by searching with the keywords social media post, I get more than 20,000 search results for this that has been added by Canva creator. Now, one thing to notice here is that some of the templates, some of the designs are free, but if you have an icon that has this crown and when you hover on it, it expands to Pro, this is a paid feature. You won't be able to access this. So let me show you an example. So I have this design, the third design, and okay, Sagar Ganesh, that's okay. No need to spam. I can see that you're writing English. I'm speaking in English. That's okay. No need to spam, guys. Let's just give other people who have genuine queries a chance to be highlighted. Okay, so the third template that I don't see a pro mark on, I click on this and this model opens up, which tells me that this is the design, this is the artist, this is the dimension, ये category है. It is fully customizable. You can edit and download on the go. I can start this particular design or I can share it with somebody. And of course, I can customize this template also. So if I click on customize this template, it opens it up in a different page and I can now edit all the elements in this design, right? But I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna open this design that is labeled as Pro. And if I click on use this template, it will open up and this model which asks me to upgrade to Pro. So I won't be able to. However, but just by looking at it, I can take inspiration or maybe use some of the elements and maybe I can just recreate them. For example, these this cluster of dots, maybe I can just recreate it on my own. But at the same time, if I am getting something handy, if I'm getting something that is already made, then that is definitely gonna save me time, and that is the whole point of Canva. It has so many templates that even a person who has not designed anything in their life has the capability or has the liberty to be a designer. They can create anything and everything out of this. Okay, so moving forward, let's just go inside the file panel and see what all features do we have. Okay, guys, for attendance link, sorry, for attendance, just go back to uh, the beginning of the session. Once the session is done, you can just use the YouTube video, and Anam is explaining the whole process to you there. Okay, so all right, so this is the workspace. This is where all the magic happens. Now, how did I reach here? I simply clicked on any of the type. It opens up, customize this template. Now, if I go back to home now, okay, I think it's taking a second to load. Otherwise, it just automatically is listed in my recent designs. That's okay. I think it's taking some time. That's fine. So, all right, now I am in my workspace. Now, what all features do I have here? How can I use these to my advantage? So, at the leftmost side, I have a shortcut to go out of this design and back into maybe home or my projects, or I can start creating a new design also. I can close this module, or I can just tap on the inside of my workspace to expand it again. I'm just gonna close this. Okay, so now coming on to file. I can rename my file. This has been created by me. I can create new files. I can upload files to this. I have some settings. For example, if I want to add rulers, if I want to have a very precise idea of what my design should look like, should it have some margins? Should it have some sort of a grid that I should follow? For example, if I am creating a design, let's just okay. So if I'm on this design, I need to kind of understand that what all areas am I covering. So what I did was I went to settings, show rulers and guides. So now I can just simply drag a ruler from this side and maybe add it to match this 1000 ka line. Doing the same for 100. So now I know कि I need to keep itna margin off from both sides if that is something that I want to do. How do I remove these rulers? I can just simply tap on this, keep holding it, and throw it out of the workspace. Okay. So I personally don't prefer using rulers. I mean, it's I think become a habit to kind of judge the area or the negative space just by an estimate. That's okay. If you want to use margins or guides, you can definitely do that. Now, another thing that Canva has, another feature Canva has is show print bleed. So, whenever you're designing something for digital media, of course, you have a very set dimension. You have, your set guidelines. For example, Instagram used to have a square post, and that was 1:1. And then it introduced, I think, a different size of post, but the ratio stays the same, right? And your design is gonna just fit into, for example, if I made this social media post, the design will automatically fit into the mobile with respect to what the screen size is, right? But when we're talking about print collaterals, for example, I print a flyer. So flyer may, you don't really know that what are your margins, because of course there is an estimated design. A4 का size बराबर होता है. We know that it is I think 595 by 812 pixels. But what you don't realize that some assets like business cards, they are not printed individually. They are printed on a one big block of sheet, and then they are cut separately. So, for example, if I, in my design, I had kept my assets like this, and if this was a business card, and itna hi area choda maine for the print vendor to cut it, that would mean that the chances of like him making an error and maybe cropping itna portion of my logo is possible. And for me, that is a wasted resource. I would not want to share a business card which is half cut, right? That does not really leave a good impression. Okay, Devansh Kotial, do not spam. Thank you. So basically, that is what we use the print bleed for. Now, coming on to another feature, of course, multiple people can collaborate on a single file and they can kind of add their comments also. So, how can you do that? Sorry, just a second. So, I click on my artboard, right click, adding a comment. So, I can just add a comment, make this blue. This comment has been added. For example, if I've created something and I need to share it with somebody, and I don't really want to hamper the overall space मेरा यहाँ पे, I don't want to add any text इसके अंदर. So what I can do is I can just add a quick comment here, and once the person has seen it and resolved it, they can just mark it. So this comment has been resolved now. So this is how multiple people can kind of use the same workspace to work in a collaborative manner. Okay, all right. Then we have another feature which is resize. Now this is limited to Canva Pro, but basically what it does is, for example, the design that we see in front of us, this is a square shape design, right? What if I need to convert it into the size of an Instagram story? I would need to go back to home. I would need to create a design. It will ask me kaun sa design chahiye. I will select Instagram story. And then when this page is opened up, I will have to manually select all these elements and then put them again one by one. Now it will be a little cumbersome for me कि इसको पूरा resize करना, right? Some elements I maybe forgot to put here, and some elements are just like showcased like here, but I can see that this design is not looking as good as it was in this design, right? So that is why we use AI's help in this, Canva's AI, which is Canva Pro resize feature. So it's just going to automatically place all this information in a manner that it looks good. Of course, you always have a choice to do it yourself. That is completely fine. But if you're in a hurry, if you have a deadline and you don't want to be caught up in छोटा छोटा चीजें like maybe resizing it या फिर ये align नहीं हुआ or something like that, so maybe for that reason you can use the resize tool. Okay, then we have editing, commenting, viewing, that is fine. Undo, redo. All the changes are saved to cloud. A button to upgrade to pro. This is me. If I want to add anybody to this file, I can just directly add it from here. If I want to see analytics, if I shared this link, so Canva lets you share links to the file as well. If I want to add you as a collaborator, I can just add your name here. Or if I want to share this link, so that the only thing that you will see is this design. You won't be able to see my workspace, but you will be able to see the design. And this is the analytics that how many people viewed this design or something like that. This is mainly to do with the design testing, but that is something that we're not covering today, so that's okay. Now sharing the design. So I can download the design, I can create a public view link, I can print, I can share it on WhatsApp, Instagram, I can present it, I can schedule it, schedule a post on social media, I can send it to phone. I mean, if you have the Canva app, move it to folder, generate a template link, add it to a website if I have linked my design or my account with a Wix or maybe a Webflow link. So all these options are ready for me if needed. Of course, the shortcut for commenting. So this is my workspace. Okay, this is my generic, super generic tools that you may not use very frequently, but it is always good to know what all is there. So because these features are put here to kind of maximize your use. or your efficiency of using Canva. So it is good to know about all these things. All right. Now, the most fascinating part of Canva, the left panel. So you can see that this looks slightly different from the panel that we have in home, right? I mean, this is kind of like just a summary of all the things. And over here, all the icons that you see, which have these stars, two stars in them, that is AI powered. So just a reference point for you. So in design, I can just directly search for uh, some random information. For example, music album cover. So it's gonna suggest me some music album covers. Okay, so I think I like this one, and all of this is editable. So, for example, if I want to just create a quick, cute post for Instagram, I can just use this template. If I want to, so it is also telling me the template style. This is the color palette that has been used, and font open source use किया है इसके अंदर. All right. Okay. So this is how you can kind of search for certain designs. So what it did right now is that it overlapped my existing design. I just pressed undo. So the design went away. But if I want to add a new file and I want to ensure that my purana file stays there. So what I need to do is create a copy from here. This is duplicating the file. This is locking the file. This is hiding the file. This is deleting the file. And this is creating a new file. So what I've done is I've duplicated it when in fact I should have just created a new file. And now I click or drag it to my space, and now I have two files so that I can work on multiple files at the same time. Okay, makes sense. So the fun part about creating multiple elements or some using something from a template is that it generates a template style for you as well. So you can see that I know now that it has Cooper Hewitt font, and this is the palette that has been used here. Okay, so this is basically all about your design section. And okay, now we have elements. So this is also a very fun part. Now in elements, I have a lot of shortcuts for all the things I may need in order to create a design. For example, there is something that is called frame. So frame is something that I can use to put in an image in. So the boundaries of this frame are defined, and I can only drag and drop an image, and it will only remain in the fields that are specified in this frame. So how do we use it? We'll just get to this in some time. Then we have graphics. So, okay, because I've searched for frame, it's only showing me frames. Okay, so I search for arrow. Okay, so now it's giving me a bunch of options. Shapes may, we have so many options. We have, let's just go to see all. In lines, I have these type of arrow cut design options. In graphics, I have many more. In photos, of course, there are more options. Same is for videos, same is for frames. There are frames shaped in the form of an arrow. There are audios that probably have arrow maybe in the title or maybe in the description or something. Then okay, no mock-ups, but I'm guessing that there are more features. Okay, so yeah, maybe I'll look for people this time and I go to photos. So you can see that I have so many options for me. Now just be careful with using the images that have an icon that the shape of a crown. Those images are paid images. बोले तो they are limited to Canva Pro users. So what I've done here is I have dragged this image and dropped it in the frame. So you can see that it has kind of taken up only space that is limited to the frame. Another thing I can do is I can just tap on this directly and it will be placed in my workspace, in the artboard that I have. Now, another thing that I can do is just drag and drop and reposition it based on how I want it to look like. For example, this is what I wanted the image to look like. This is the actual ratio of the image, and if I hold down on the corners, the circular edges, I can resize it in proportion. If you can see where my cursor is, there is a black box with width and height mentioned. You can see that both of them are changing. That means if I'm changing the layout, if I'm changing the size using this corner, the circular edge, the image will scale down or scale up in proportion. Now, if I choose to move the right or left sides, this means that I'm only hiding parts of the image. And again, in this process, only the width is changing, right? So, okay, so that is how you use frames. And of course, in frames, you can add videos as well. For example, if I drag and drop this video, so it is just gonna be on autoplay. So that is something that is also pretty cool. Now coming on to typography. So for typography, Canva lets me use a brand kit. Okay, so I think this is the brand kit that I had created some time ago. I'm not able to access it right now because my pro subscription expired and I hadn't renewed it. And because we're primarily focusing on free features in this workshop, so we're just gonna let this be and check out some other font combinations Canva has to offer. So I went to text. I can search for fonts from here also. I can add a text box, or I can on my workspace just click on T and a text box appears. Again, I can reposition or resize it based on my requirements. I can change the font directly from here. But first, let's check out some good font combinations that we can use for our design. So I'm just gonna, okay. Oh, I think this was a paid one. Okay, this looks nice. So I'm just gonna keep it here. And okay, so I think this is also a very cool design. A little retro, a little comic-y, something like that. So as you can see that Canva has a lot of options, even in their free plan. So you don't really need to, straight up purchase your pro subscription for this. You can just explore this for a while and see if this is up to your liking. All right. So now I have this text. What all can I do with this? So I'm just gonna, so this panel, when I clicked on text appeared. So I can go back to my original layer or I can just close it by clicking on this chota sa handle on this side. All right. So now I have selected the text box. How did I get this? By just simply pressing on T. And again, it has those circular edges, it has those rectangle with rounded edges. If I just move the sides, it is just going to expand in width. But if I move, or if I hold on to the circular edge and scale it up, it is going to rise in proportion. Now, if I want to expand it evenly on both sides, right and left, I just need to hold down Alt and it is going to scale up evenly. So, all right. Now coming on to the applications of typography, or maybe something that you may use for your design. So, for example, a couple of variations of fonts, or just testing it out that which font is better for your design. you can of course try the layout from here. So one thing that I really like about Canva is that you don't need to tap on the font to see what it looks like in your text. It already has the design mentioned in the typography in the text that you have, right, in the sample or in the name. So I just kind of like, get an understanding of this is what my design is going to look like if I choose this font. So, okay, the font name is Holiday. I'm just gonna keep this right now. The reason it looks odd is because I had selected, or I think this was pre-selected, the uh, title case for this. Caps lock basically was on. And okay, so I have unselected it. Now this is in sentence case. I can change the size of the text from here. I can change the text color from here. I can make it bold if the font allows it, but this font probably does not allow bold, or it does not have bold or italic properties. And it can maybe underline and a strike through. And of course, we saw the capitalization. I can right, left, center, justify the alignment for this. I can add bullet points. I can add numbers, or I can change the letter spacing. So the reason this looks a little congested is because the letter spacing was -83. We want to ideally keep it at 0, or if you want to really space out your text, maybe you can increase it depending on what your requirement is. If there are multiple lines, for example, for this, if we change the line spacing for this, you can see how the design or the text is moving. Now, another cool thing is I can set the anchor for this text. If I want to set the anchor at center, now both of my rows will move alongside, right? If I keep it at the bottom, the only the top layer will move now. So I think that is something that is quite fun. Now this is, I'm just gonna fix it. Left align. I think center align was better. Okay, this works. Now I can add transparency to this as well if I am working with overlapping layers. After this, what we should do is figure out how the effects and animations and the positionings work. But maybe we can cover that in the later session. Right now, I think because you are now familiar with the most of what Canva is, maybe we can start designing. So before we actually, just let me give you a walkthrough of these two features also. One is draw. Basically, in draw, you get a free hand to kind of draw whatever you want. Okay. So I am working with Vacom tab, so it kind of is easier for me to go along with these movements as compared to somebody who is just using a laptop's touchpad or maybe a mouse. But I think once you get a hang of it, you will get pretty good at it. So again, you can adjust the width, you can adjust the transparency of these lines that you're creating or any design that you're creating. Now coming to upload again, simply does what it's saying. It uploads files. So what I'm gonna do is we are going to basically create a, I didn't get the topic of layering. Yes, so about layers, we will get to it once we actually started designing. So that is what we're gonna do now. I'm just gonna remove these two designs that I have, and I am going to create a design which was, I think, mentioned in the one link also. I think, wait, what was that? Let me just look into my notes. A birthday party invite. So that is something that we're going to create today. And I think through practice, we're just going to, brush upon some of the things that we learned today and, of course, learn more things. So I'm just going to search for a birthday party. So ideally, for somebody who is new to designing or maybe just needs a head start or something. So what they can do is they can just kind of go through the design templates and see if they like something that is free, something that they can use. For example, this is a pretty neat design. All you need to do is change your name, or if you want to add a location or a date or something like that, so you can just directly do that. So basically designing is more about composition, or what type of imagery are you going to use with what type of typography. So these things basically need to be looked at before we start creating something. So, for example, I'm just going to go to elements and search for a floral background. So I'm just gonna maybe create a post. Okay, I was on videos. I'm just gonna look for, I think from the filters, I can also kind of figure out what all, if I have a specific color in mind, if I have a specific orientation, if I want it to be static, I want it to be static, and I want it to be square, because that is what my design requires. So it's given me a bunch of information, and maybe sometimes you're not able to find the perfect design or something that you're looking for, and also free and ready to use on Canva, then you can go to a couple of sites like I think Pexels is one of the sites, maybe floral background. So maybe I can just see if it has something that I might be able to use. Okay, I think this is a pretty neat background. So what I'm going to do is I've just copied it, and I, instead of like directly uploading it, I'm gonna try and pasting it here. So while the upload is in progress, you can see that this is what it looks like. There was a slight animation that was happening over here. Now I'm going to rescale it, but because this image that I have found is not really in a square shape, so what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna drag it right now, and I'm now going to hold it down from the sides, the center of the of my edges, and I'm going to position it like this. Okay, so now I want to add some sort of a frame to this, because this background has multiple layers, like multiple colors. And if I want to add maybe something, some text in white, sorry guys, if I want to add a text that is in white, maybe around here it will lose its opacity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look for a, a frame. So but not actually searching for something in the frames, maybe going to graphics this time, and it is giving me a bunch of options. So maybe I can just select something. Okay. So this is a little painstaking task, but then again, it is also worth it when we finally get the eureka moment, when we, finalize on a design. So maybe in order to make it highlight a little more or stand out, I'm just going to use the a slightly different color for this heart. And now I'm going to go to uploads, actually elements, and maybe use a picture of a kid. So this is a kid's birthday party, and I'm going to create an invite for the kids' friends. I mean, of course, it's going to be sent to the parents, but okay. So child, and going to photos. I'm going to search for a free picture. I think this is the one. Now I'm going to scale it down so that it kind of fits this area. Now I need to move this image back and move the Polaroid frame up. So what I can do is right click, layers, send backwards. Okay, shoot, I had selected the back layer. Okay, I've selected the image now, layers, send backwards. Now my image has gone back. Otherwise, another way to go about it is show layers, and I can just keep rotating or see which layer do I want on top. Okay, so I think this works. I'm just going to resize it, maybe tilt it a little bit. And now I can kind of see that this background probably might not be the best idea for this cover image. So I'm just going to search for birthday again. So I have a bunch of options, and I'm going to select this one, I think. Okay, moving it back. Okay, I think this is fine. I'm not sure why this is pixelated, but that's okay. I can, of course, also use this, but I'm just going to stick with this one. I am now going to click on lock layer so that every time I make a movement or change something in this, it does not really affect my foreground. So another feature that Canva has is grouping the elements so that I don't have to keep worrying about individual assets. If I've created this image, I know that this can now work as a group. This can now work as an entity. But before I group this, maybe I want to add a name to this, or maybe a date to this to kind of make it seem like it's a memory. So I'm just going to go here and 2nd Feb 2023, and maybe give it a cool typewriter font. So I think something like this. Yeah. Now, because you can see that the bottom of this particular frame, this particular image is a little tilted. So what I'm going to do is when I click on any element, be it an image, be it a text field, it is going to give me these two options. I can either use these options to move the file, or I can rotate it. So as soon as I start rotating it, you can see that right next to my cursor, a black box appears, which tells me what is the degree of the turn that I have, moved the asset for. So I'm just going to resize it a little bit and maybe place it at the center. Guys, so this is a boot camp, and boot camp basically means that we are trying to get everybody to scale up, and this happens from the point zero. So we are learning everything there is to learn about Canva, but of course, we are going to start with the basics. So if you want to learn something for maybe a pro session or something, just keep your eye out or join the communities by Let's Upgrade, because we keep on having such workshops, and maybe in the next one we can have a discussion around some of the pro features. Okay, all right. So now I have this asset ready. I'm just going to wait. I think mid conversation, I just grouped it without realizing it. Okay, so what I can do is I can individually select these elements, but because the image layer is in the background, I'm not able to, tap on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag and select this. So my background layer, although it is highlighted, the purple marks are showing that this layer is active, but it's locked. So regardless if it is even highlighted or sorry, active, it won't come into selection. So what I've done is I've selected the multiple layers and I have clicked on Control G or Command G if you're using a Mac. Otherwise, what I can do is I can just select the images, and Canva will give me an option to group these assets. So once they are grouped, you can also, of course, group from the right click or ungroup if you want to. And once I've done this, I can resize the image and I can position the whole asset to the side. So I think this looks decent now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some text. You're invited. So now another crucial point is figuring out what sort of typography do you want. So maybe because this is a birthday party invite for a young kid, maybe I can use a handwritten font. So when I click on that, it gives me a bunch of options of fonts that are handwritten or look like that they have been. So I'm just going to quickly change the size. You're invited uh, to celebrate BRATE. Uh, so I am dragging and using the keys Alt and Shift, which kind of lets me duplicate the layers. So I can either move it like this, right? But if I hold down Shift, it only moves in a singular direction. It can only move vertically or horizontally. Now, if I hold down Shift and Alt, it not only moves the frame vertically, but it also lets me copy it. So if I only hold down Alt, it is going to copy it. So I hope you are keeping yourself up with the shortcuts, because if you get a decent command over the shortcuts of any designing tool, your life becomes so much easier. So, all right, now we get on to creating a typography or some sort of a style over here. So you're invited. Let's just see yes, the Y is capital. You're invited to celebrate. I'm going to, I think centrally aligned was better, but just to double check, aligning center. Okay. To celebrate the birthday, or not the birthday, maybe the kid's name is Sarah. Sarah's birthday. Now, for this, maybe I want to overlap this text a little bit with the image, because this is the little girl's name. So I think that should be fine. I'm just going to see if aligning them to the left is gonna make sense. So design is mostly iterations and figuring out what works best. So okay, I'm just gonna add this here because I think there are too many lines. The invite should be pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reduce the size and put this all in one line to kind of make it seem like this is part of the same entity. Although my font is doing that job, but I would also want to get people to focus on the text Sarah's birthday. So even if they just see this image, what are they going to focus on? They're going to focus on the image of the girl, and then they're gonna see Sarah's birthday. So that is how they're gonna remember that this post is about Sarah's birthday. So because there is a lot that is happening in this design, right? There is a certain background noise. There is, I have added an image, then there is going to be content, there is going to be text on it. So gradually the design becomes heavier the more we work on it. So it is ideal to kind of keep this in check and ensure that we're not cluttering the design too much. So for example, maybe this black is a little too harsh for a birthday party invite. So maybe what I want to do is I went on to the text color box, opened the color picker from here, or actually not even the, maybe I can see that what all color options are there. So yeah, okay, this makes a little sense. I think this is a little softer than the black that we had. And I'm just gonna see if I can change the color for this. I think this is a little too dull. I'm going to maybe go for a slightly darker shade. Okay, you're invited to celebrate Sarah's birthday. So, can anybody find a problem with the things that we have done so far? Because I just realized that I had made a mistake in this. So, if anybody can kind of, if anybody was paying attention to what I was saying, and if you can find a fault in this design, guys, be active on the chat. The date. Okay. Why the date? No, text is overlapping with the photo because that is how we designed it. Okay, so no, the Y is actually capital. It's just the font style. It does not seem like it. So, okay, the color is not really a wrong choice because it is matching with the overall palette. But no, it's not the date. So when I started designing this, I had said that because this looks like a Polaroid, and I want to make it seem like maybe this is a memory of this particular date, right? But because I've not really added any other date, so what people are going to think is that the birthday party that I'm invited to is happening on 2nd Feb 2023, and they are going to think that it is a typo. But when I started designing it, it was just to give this a Polaroid feel. This was not actually the date of the party. So that is where we kind of misled the user, misled the person who is going to read this. Of course, I was going to add a date for the party somewhere in the design. But then at that point, I would have realized maybe, or maybe I would have not realized that I already had a date placed in the design. So for maybe some sort of like, invite or something, it is ideal to not have confusion. For example, if we see the Shadi ke card that we receive, most of them have a map kind of drawn at the back of the card to avoid confusions, and have multiple numbers of multiple contact numbers basically, so that the people have ease of access when reaching to a certain place. So that is basically usability mixed with design. We don't want to confuse the user. We only want to portray our message. We only want to showcase our message. All right. Okay. So you're cordially invited, or you're invited to celebrate Sarah's sixth birthday. Okay. So I think I want to highlight the name here again. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just keep Sarah's hair and increase the size to this, so that this is very high in focus now. You're invited to celebrate Sarah's sixth birthday. Okay, so maybe I can just change the color of her name now. This looks more kiddish, which is again the whole point. It might not be of your liking, but then again, that is the whole appeal. It's not supposed to resonate with you. We're just making something pretty over here. And okay, all right. Now we have to add a date and time. So maybe over here, the color combination for, sorry, the font combination that we searched for can help us out. Okay, so maybe this probably uh, another one. Sorry, guys, just a second. Okay. So, okay, this makes sense. This is a decent-ish design, but the problem of using this particular fancy retro-looking font is that there are going to be too many fonts in my design, and I don't really want to again confuse the user. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the font Cardo, and kind of simplify my design now. So I'm going to just select this and maybe search for Cardo. And okay, it has a feature to like make the font bold. So you're invited to celebrate Sarah's sixth birthday on okay. So this can be 13th of March 2025. And at the same time, maybe I would want to add a venue. The venue can be, some XYZ hotel or a restaurant or a cafe. So, XYZ cafe at 3 p.m., ensuring that the users or the readers have ample information, and they are very clear, or as to where they have to go, at what time do they have to go. Sorry guys, just a second, just a second. Sorry guys, it's my mom. Of course I had to reply to that. So okay, all right. Now we have uh, kind of set our tone for the design. So what I'm going to do is see what I can do about the placing. Maybe I can just move the image a little bit here and tilt it a little less, so that I have extra space, so that my basic primary information, which is Sarah's birthday, of course, it is going to be very clearly visible. But I also want the users to kind of focus on where the event actually is, because that is so. Although this is my primary information, this is the information that is actually going to help them in the future, right? So 13th March, XYZ Cafe, 3 p.m. Okay, all right. I think this makes sense. Some miscellaneous information like a contact number, or maybe we could have converted it into some slide animations. I think that is something that we can do, probably just to give you a brief introduction of animations. Although it's not covered in today's session, but while we're talking about it, maybe we can figured that out. I think slightly pull down the image. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. I think it was going way too much on the top. Okay. The Polaroid looked better tilted. Okay, all right. So what I'm going to do is I have grouped these two images now, and I have selected it, clicking on animate, and uh, maybe blur, or so it has a lot of options. And maybe we can select one of them. So the one that looks okay, I think this is a cute one. Maybe we can just use this, the scrapbook. And for this, I'm going to just animate. You're invited to celebrate for ascent. It is going to be word by word. Sarah's birthday. Okay, not effects. So we gotta go to animate. Okay, I'm gonna group these two. So let me know if I'm going too fast. And sorry, just a second, guys. Okay, all right. So we have animated this particular piece. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And we have added an animation of ascending to this. I have grouped these two layers together so that whatever animation I put into it, it is going to happen on these two rows together. So let's see. I think we are on the verge of putting too many animations, but let's see what it looks like. Da, 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 da. Okay, I think this is good. And lastly, the last element that we have. Uh, okay, so I think this and okay, I can't change the uh, speed of it. That's a pro feature, so I think that's okay. I'm just going to add shift to this. Okay, so now I have a lot of things happening on my design now. So I have added a animation to all these elements, right? And the how you put animation on text together. So basically what I did was I grouped these two rows. I selected them, held down right click, and grouped. So I grouped them, and in the kebab menu, because my screen is collapsed right now. So in this area, I had animations. I went through a list of animations and selected the one that I liked and applied it. Okay. So this is how you animate. Let me just get a hold of my screens. And oh my god, what is happening? Okay, I'm just going to keep it like this. Can we merge two frames with a single image? I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you explain it a little bit? Do you mean frames as in the frames that we saw here? Uh, Frames like something like this? Or do you mean just two elements? Because yes, we can group two elements and we can directly, put some animation to it. So basically, we've kind of covered all these elements and we have, animated them. Now let's see what it actually looks like. So what I'm going to do is I don't need to tap on anything. I just need to directly tap on this button which says play. And okay, so this is what it looks like. So because it was like a very quick 5 second transition, so you have to be like, really focused and see. So I'm going to play this a bunch of times just so you understand how different animations work. So firstly, let's just focus on the photo. So the photo was there, but the Polaroid shifted because the animation was scrapbook. So that is what it looked like. Now, second, we focus on you're invited to celebrate. Okay, so each word came one stop after another. Make it slow, it'll look better. Yes, but that is a paid feature. So, this is what we're going to do today. We're just going to explore all the free features. So, Sarah's birthday, I added an animation in this, which makes it seem like it's coming out of the screen. It is getting bigger. So, that is what is happening here. So I think the animation is called breathe, so that like it kind of expands. And then again, you have some minor animations happening in the last minute date, place, and time. So this kind of gives me some minor animations in this at the same time, something is happening, some information. Now I think in order to make it a little more interesting, maybe we can have a gif of sorts in the design. So what I've done is in the elements panel, I have just searched for a gif and I'm going to go to my graphics side and see what all is available for me that I can use as a free user. So because my background is light, I can't really use anything that is too light because it won't be visible on my screen, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe look for some animations or some GIFs which kind of help me create a better design or something that is like, a little more jolly. So maybe this will also work. This is kind of like, making it seem like my design has some movement happening around it. So, of course, we don't want to overdo it. We're just going to put a stop right about now, I think. Oh, yeah. So let's play it. So you can see that because I've added a couple of GIFs, the duration has now extended. So now it is it is 5.4 seconds, right? Okay. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, I feel like maybe it is a little overcrowded because of the background, because the background is so busy. But that's okay. I think for a birthday party invite of a 6 year old, I think we've done a decent job. Now, I would love for you guys to kind of come back tomorrow and maybe upload a design that you have created, which kind of it doesn't necessarily need to be an invite of a 6 year old. Maybe you can create an invite of maybe a party, but you can create something based on what you have observed today, and share it in the boot camp tomorrow. And everybody can do that and just kind of collaborate and see how everybody perceives information differently, and like create something from their own point of view. How to choose a color combination? uh, okay. So for color combinations, of course, there are multiple options for you to kind of, uh, so I would suggest that nobody spam. There are a couple of people who are asking questions, and yeah, the more you spam, the more it can annoy people. So yeah, let's not do that. So basically, to generate color palettes, I think I saw a plugin, Color Palette AI. Okay, yeah. So see, there are a bunch of tools within Canva itself, which kind of blue pastel. Uh, which kind of let you generate palettes. And then, of course, while this is loading, there is a site called, I think, Coolers. So this is also a fun site. They have a lot of features, and what they do is they generate random color palettes for you. So I hold down space bar, and it is going to change and give me a new palette every time. So if you don't really want to limit yourself to any particular restrictions or any particular color palette, or maybe you think that you have kind of developed a bias towards certain colors. For example, when I started my career in designing, I was very fond of this light sea green color. Everything that I was creating, I was just using this color over and over again. So I think a year after or later, I kind of look back at my portfolio and everything was of the same color. So again, like, let's not get hung up on one particular color. Let's explore different combinations, different funky combinations. For example, this is a palette that I would never ever use. I don't even think that using these two colors together is a good idea. But then again, it is my personal bias. How would I know that this is not a good idea until I've actually tried it and used it somewhere? Now, this is a very fancy color palette. I think this is a combination for probably, I think if there was white also, Tommy Hilfiger, again, like, a very popular brand. I think this kind of reminds me of this fintech app Slice. Uh, yeah. So again, like you can either choose a tool like this, or you can choose. So for example, in the color palette AI plugin, we had asked it to kind of use or generate a soft a pastel blue palette. So it has created a couple of options for me, and I can either use them or I can generate the option again. So that is up to me. And of course, it has a bunch of predefined color palettes for me to use. For example, if I'm a little confused at what color should I use, maybe I can just, take reference from this. For example, we were struggling in the beginning that what all colors should we use. So let's see how this is going to help us out. So I've just changed the colors to this, and for the light shade, I'm just going to select this. I think probably not, because our background is so light. So maybe this is not the most ideal approach for us. But then again, I don't necessarily need to stick to this. I can always accommodate the changes that I'm making in the color palette. I don't need to, the color palette has to be defined through a trial and error process. So if I use something, if I use this particular color, for example, in this palette, so these are the 5 colors that the system gave me. Yes, Kartikeya, you have a question. Please answer. Sorry, please ask me that question. Okay, but do not spam, please. Just write your question. If I am looking at the chat box, I will answer. How can we use Canva in teaching? Similarly, how I am doing it, uh, you can use the draw feature to mark something or something like that. So basically, what I was talking about was color palette. Yes. So I kind of figured out that this color that the system generated for me is too light for my design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this color, because I know that for if I'm going to go ahead and choose this background, maybe this is not the right shade. This middle section, this is not the right shade for me. If I had maybe a white background, and maybe then I could have chosen we just select this. Yeah. So I think in this case, I could have used this lighter shade. But if I'm going to use a maybe a different colored background, then maybe this particular color is not really for me. Maybe I need to go for something like this, right? So this is how you kind of figure out what colors are going with the design that you're making, or if they are complementing your design, or kind of like again overwhelming or even underwhelming your design. For example, the red background that we saw, let me just make a copy of this. And wait, have I locked this file? Yes, I've locked this file, so I'm just going to delete this. So you see, if I change the color to white, everything is a hierarchy, and this does not really look like the background that we should use for a kid's birthday party. This looks too lovey-dovey, right? We don't really want to associate this information or like this emotion with this messaging, right? So this is not the right approach for us. So it is very important to kind of like establish a good balance between the assets that you're using. Your assets can be the images that you're using, the font type that you're using, the graphics, or even the GIFs that you're using, or the text that you're writing. In most of the cases, you will not really have a content writer working alongside with you who is going to tell me कि ये content लिखना है यहाँ पे, or like you're cordially invited to celebrate Sarah's 6th birthday. Cordially invite 6 साल के बच्चे की बर्थडे पार्टी में नहीं कर रहे हैं अपन किसी को. Cordially invite करते हैं to official events, right? This is like a super unofficial event. So it is very important to have the messaging right. Of course, this is not what you came to learn on Canva, but can we directly add the color template to our design? Direct color change. Yeah. So okay. I've read your concern, but you gotta stop Spamming, dude. This is just a lot. Okay, okay. So, guys, just please drop in your queries. I mean, this is getting a little childish. We are here to learn, and let's just continue doing that. If you have any queries, you can drop in as a comment once the video has been posted, and I will make sure to address those in tomorrow's session if I missed your query. How to make golden black background. I think you have the entire Canva at your disposal for that. Black and golden background. I mean, there are plenty, and you can even create something of your own with fine iterations. So maybe something that we can cover in the next session. So, all right. So, I think we have discussed what to do and what not to do, and how to avoid kind of cluttering your design, and importance of color theory and hierarchy, and adding slight animations and transitions to your design. Okay, all right. So I think the next thing that we can do is design a simple thank you card, maybe something a little formal. So for that, I'm going to just go back to design, and actually not this. I'm just gonna head on to home. So you see, on Instagram, you have a lot of options to select. So, for example, if you don't particularly know what the size of a social media post is going to be like, so what you can do is you can just directly uh, click here and use this as a shortcut. So it is going to tell you that for Instagram posts, your design has to be the ratio 4:5. Now with the ratio, you can kind of expand or collapse your design any way you want, right? So it is going to like fit according to scale. For example, for a YouTube thumbnail, the limitations are pretty set. So it can either it can only be 2080 by 720. So I think that is something. Just hold on, I'm just gonna quickly stop sharing for a moment. uh, okay, I'm just gonna share the screen in which we have this. Okay, I think this was an accidental tap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new design of custom size. I'm going to keep the width as 500, and I'm going to keep the height as 300. So it is going to look kind of like a business card, but not really. So we are designing a thank you note. So for a thank you note, this can be maybe in collaboration with the 6-year-old's birthday party that we had created, or it can just be a thank you note that many of small businesses often send you a thank you note with their products, for example, on Amazon or any homegrown brand that you order from. So again, there is somebody who is sitting somewhere and designing all these assets. Anything that you see, for example, if I see a sanitizer bottle in front of me, somebody has designed the label for this. If I see a paintbrush and there is some sort of a marking on it, or maybe it's like on a pencil it's written Natraj, somebody was sitting somewhere and decided that this is the font that I want to associate with Natraj. So all these tiny things that kind of go unnoticed, but there is a designer sitting somewhere out there who is working very hard on this. So, okay, let's design a thank you page. So, what all information should there be in a thank you page? Can you guys help me out with that? What all information should be there? There should be, of course, a message that says thank you. But what else? What else information? So let's just take this as an example. For example, I have a small business and I make candles in that business. Okay. And maybe you are somebody who has, ordered from my business, and I need to send you a thank you card. So, what all information do you think should be present in that design, which kind of makes you feel that the brand is talking directly to you? Name of the person, right? So, personalizing a message is very important in order to connect with the audience. So, for example, I think Parth. So, Parth, you had suggested we use the name of the person. So, thank you, Parth. Or maybe thank you for ordering with us, Parth. So as soon as I know that they know who I am, I'm not just a random number to this person. It is going to, of course, make me feel like, a little better. Or if not better, then at least I'll know that this message is directed to me. Somebody took the time to write a message to me, even if, like, it's done digitally or something. So somebody said a candle. So I'm just going to write a candle here. Okay. All right. Now, apart from this, I think there should be a website which lets you, as so you're the user, I'm the business owner, right? In this scenario. So I'm going to just very slyly let you or remind you of the fact that I have a digital presence. If in case you ever want to go back and order something, so this is where my candle business.com. This is my website. So we're going to design it. Don't worry about that. But right now, we're just listing down information. Now, the screen is not stuck. We're just brainstorming right now. So it is very important whenever we start designing something, be it a social media post or a presentation, it is very important to kind of have a structure in mind to be your guiding source, telling you that what all information should be there. We should not really be so, like, previously we were working on this chotusa design of a birthday party. So it was not really, like, very critical design. So if something went wrong, what could go wrong? I could misspell Sarah's birthday. I could use the wrong picture. I could add the wrong date. Yeah, it will be like, it will suck. It will, like, not be super cool. But at the same time, it's not really going to, like, destroy anything, right? But at the same time, when I'm talking about something like as maybe kind of like not super important, but kind of important for maybe my business, a thank you card that is letting the user kind of get in touch with the business. This is like, their FaceTime, figuratively speaking. So this is kind of important. I would need to know that if I'm not missed any information over here. So for example, I have, because this is a candle business, I'm going to have some sort of illustration or some sort of graphic around candle to ensure that the user connects the note with the business. And I have a link to my website. I should also have a QR code so that it kind of makes it easier for the user to kind of scan it directly on the mobile and order more if they want to. And maybe I could give them some sort of a discount that for future ordering or something, maybe use this particular discount for this amount off or something like that. And apart from this, maybe I can have a couple of social media handles that we have amazing collection. So check out our social media design or something like that. uh Guys, is the screen visible now? Is it visible now? Okay, okay, great, great. So sorry about that. All right, great. So, right, so we have, thank you for ordering with us. We have a line for discount, your website handle, graphic, QR code, your social media, maybe Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whatnot ka handle, something like that. And I think, yeah, this is about it. Maybe we can get started with the designing bit now. So I want this to look a little fancy. So maybe not handwritten fonts, but maybe we can look for something elegant. So I'm going to look for some elegant fonts, but it has to be readable also. So thank you for ordering with us. I would want this elegant font to have a bold property also, because I would want to kind of highlight the name to make it seem like, even if, like, maybe the user in passing did not really see the design very clearly, but if they see and recognize their name, they are going to stop and pay attention to this. So I'm going to just, I think this font looks a little simple, so probably not this. Okay, this is a nice font. It's called the Seasons. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select this particular area and I'm going to click on bold. Okay, yeah, this is pretty neat. It's very simple. It's to the point. Okay. Thank you for ordering with us. Okay, I think I should move with at the bottom. Okay. Now I need to make this design a little softer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of create a color palette for myself also. So I've just duplicated my design and I'm going to go to one of the AI tools. Okay, not this. I'm just gonna go to, what was that? Color. Okay, wait. Color palette AI. And I am going to beige, brown. And how many colors do I want? I think I can maybe be okay with 6 color options. Uh, okay. What is the ratio of image? Uh, do you mean this particular image that we are seeing right now? So this workshop is gonna end in 20 minutes. Uh, okay. So I think when I asked for warm earthy tones, it gave me pink, beige with brown. So let's see if it does not give me the colors I want. Maybe I can just create a palette myself. That's okay. But let's just see how the AI tools are operating. Meanwhile, maybe we can. Okay, I think, yeah, this is a good option. Even this one. Add as image. So this has been added. So let's see if whatever we are using kind of like works with this. I have a feeling it might not. I think it might be a little too dark for our taste, but we can always again customize our own design. So, okay, because I've chosen a slightly beige color for my design, for my base basically. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to select my text and I am going to maybe look at the palette once more, maybe see how, if I choose this color, what does it look like? Okay, it looks light, but it also looks nice. What do you think? Should I keep a black color for this, or is this color kind of complementing my design? Let me know, guys. Let me know very quickly. Is this color okay? Should I move ahead with this? Okay, brown is better. Great, great. Uh, SVG, I think, yeah, somebody asked about SVG. So basically, SVG is an editable version of a graphic. It's a scalable vector graphic. It kind of lets you edit individual elements. For example, when we download something, or when we create an illustration on Photoshop, or even when we draw a line, that is a vector image. The alternate is a raster image, which is your actual JPEGs or PNGs or PDFs. Those are, usually, not usually, they're always raster images. But any element that you can change the properties, especially the colors of, and you can scale those images without having its quality, compromised, is an SVG, open for editing, basically, in simpler terms. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my elements panel and search for candle. I'm going to go for my graphics. Okay, so I think this looks a little creepy, so I'm just not gonna use it. Looks scary. Maybe this is a cute one. So the one thing that I absolutely love about Canva graphics is that it lets me change the colors however I want it to be. So, for example, when I've selected this particular graphic, you can see that I have an option of changing all the colors that are present in this design. So, for example, if I want to maybe change the color, so I think the original color was this. If I want to change it to something like this, I can do that from here. That is something that I personally find pretty cool. So I'm just gonna use this and keep it at the bottom maybe for now to make it seem like it's coming out from this side. I am going to go look for a couple more options. So I also liked this, but I think it's a pro asset. And let's see what else do we have. I think this looks so, because this is a home business, homegrown business. So my candles can't really look like super generic and like super worshipy. Also, it has to look like an aesthetic design. Maybe not this; it's too festive, I think. But anyways, so this is one of the most painstaking part of the process, finding the design that actually fits your requirement. So I'm just going to keep this maybe. I think this was brown that I was using. But if okay, I can't really change it. How do you take care of white space? Uh, I'm always struggling to, as an attempt to provide the required visuals and info. So white space is not really your enemy. I mean, like, of course, in this design, you can see that like there is plenty of white space that I think, kind of purposefully at this point ignoring, because I have kind of grown to like the emptiness in the designs that I see, or the lighter the better. So I don't really prefer very bold designs, but I think that is just my personal preference. For example, if I had to create a website or maybe a post for an AI product, so of course it is going to be dark themed, and I'm going to have a lot of elements. For example, there is something called Memphis, Memphis, that maybe you can use in order to kind of like fill up the empty spaces in your design. So for example, if I have to use it in my design, these are basically just random collection of shapes and images. So something that I can use. So you can just kind of use this to fill up the space, but it's not particularly like, the best approach. You can, pastel pink in background would look good. Okay, let's give it a try. If you insist, let me just move it to this side, and yeah, this would also look good, but because I'm too committed to the brown color now, so I'm just going to change it back. But definitely I would look forward to in tomorrow's session if you can come up with something around the palette that you're proposing. That will be great. Okay, so a line for discount. Okay, a catchy line for discount. Use the code bring the light uh, for your next purchase and get INR 300 off. So I think this is a catchy enough uh, subtext. I'm going to remove this text because I've already added a QR. Uh, Sorry, guys, just a second. Now I'm going to just change the color of this, make it brown also, and maybe I can add bold to this. And otherwise, what I will have to do is maybe use a different font. But I think, okay, this is a different font. For some reason, I was just considering it to be the same font as the top one. This is Canva Sans. Sorry, guys, just a second. Just a second. I think there is somebody at the door. So sorry. Yes, guys. Okay. So basically, we have two fonts that we are using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go back to Canva Sans and I can explore multiple variations. So whenever a font that is listed here has an arrow, that means they offer a variety of variations basically of that particular font. So I think I can use medium and maybe see if I can reduce the transparency a little bit. I think this works. Or I can just highlight the code that I had mentioned and maybe I can just keep it in caps. Just write bring, okay, bring the light and get INR 300 off. I've used INR because I don't want to export the rupee symbol from somewhere. I'm feeling a little lazy right now. But of course, you can just copy it. Okay, I'm just gonna show you. So I think it's as simple as bringing in an emoji. So you just directly copy it from here. Okay, and just type in rupee symbol on Google, and it will be carried. Most of the fonts do support this particular uh, symbolism, so that is something that we can do. Now I'm going to copy the format of this. I selected my layer, clicking on this, and then hovering on top of it and tapping here. It kind of replicates the design that you have here and pastes it over here. Okay. Now I need to add a QR code. Okay. So I'm just going to search for a QR code, a very generic QR code. Scan me. Okay. I think something that looks a little scribbled, a little handmade, because this also looks, our overall design is looking like that. So I'm just gonna select this, scan me, and now it's time to add some social media icons. Social media icon. Okay. Heading over to graphics again, and I think this is good. Maybe I can just instead of okay, it has a watermark to it because it's a paid icon. So scan me, basically, I understand that it does not really let the user know what this is about. So maybe we can change the messaging and make it sound like or scan to earn your reward or something similar. Maybe we can just write website over here for ease of access for the user. Something that the user can resonate with. Now, I think that this particular area is looking a little too empty. So what I'm going to do is maybe look for something around the terms of decoration, some elements that might help me, jazz up my design a little bit. So this might take some time. We might not find what we are looking for, even. It happens sometimes. But because, this is a slow and steady process, and we're not in a rush. So we're just gonna keep doing this. Okay, so I added this. I think my scan me is getting cluttered, so I'm just going to bring it here, and I'm just gonna tilt this up a little bit so that the lines are going out. So I think this looks a little better. I can just bring this down to kind of cover up the empty space. And now I can have a couple of other random Memphis options to fill up the space that is, on the sides. So then again, this is totally optional. You don't necessarily need to fill up all the space that you are seeing in your design. It's not, a mandate to have a design that looks heavy or has a lot of elements in this. That's not really, a case. So, whatever you feel has captured the essence of your design and the messaging is going across, that is something that you should work towards. So, for example, in this, what was my primary goal? To connect with the user. I did that by using the name of the user. Maybe what I can do is, in order to like really highlight it, maybe I can just underline this name again. That this is who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. And then I established that I'm a candle business because of the vector or the graphic that I used. Now, my secondary actionable was for making the user read through all of this. I told them, ki, here's a discount for you because you've been so nice for us or to us. You get 300 off on your next purchase, which may be a promotional coupon that I already have on the website, but it doesn't hurt to let the user know that they, are being thought of, or we want to make them feel special or something like that. Then a little jazzy or random Memphis or graphics around my design to kind of fill up the negative space. For me, if I had a choice, I would have honestly done without all these elements, and I would have just kept it like super simple, something like this, because this works for me. But then again, because we are designers and sometimes we work with clients, and maybe this is something that they might not prefer. So I think in that case, you can just fill up the space with the branding or similar look and feel type wala assets. So, okay, all right. I think this was all for today's session. A quick QR. So, yeah, guys, the QR code was just a placeholder. It was just to get you an idea of all the things that are possible. We can add social media icons also, and we can just kind of like, take these designs as references and kind of. So the next time I would suggest that tonight just go on Pinterest or Dribble or Behance or some other site, and even on Instagram there are plenty of ads on Instagram. Just go through the ads and kind of try to understand what the designer was thinking when they created something. If they created a story and they added a couple of maybe text points at the top left, where did they position the brand logo, and what colors did they use? Did they use a color that did not look like the brand logo? Why did they use it? So like kind of question their approach and try to justify it within yourself that this is why maybe they did not use their social media handles, because the user cannot really tap here. So what is the point of adding social media icons over here, right? So just kind of like rationalize, think about their approach and what you can learn from their approach, their mistakes, or if they're doing something right, if they're doing something wrong. So I think that is a fun activity and something that you guys might enjoy. If you have any questions, any queries, please feel free to drop a comment in after the video has been uploaded. or I'll just kind of go through the comments that you've mentioned here as well. There's no formal assignment for tomorrow's session. I mean, I would definitely recommend that the two design types that we worked on today, you kind of, create one of your own. I see that a couple of people have created a design of their own while they were going through the workshop, the boot camp. So that's great. I am definitely looking forward to seeing the designs that you made based on what we discussed. And if you have something different that you want to show or share with the rest of us, that will be amazing. So, guys, just let me know. How do you upload your Canva designs in Canva after spamming so much? Your query still has not been resolved. So there is an upload button. We covered it in the session. So whenever you open up a design, there are a bunch of buttons. There is design, there is elements. I think there are brand color, something, and then upload. So you just tap on that, upload your file directly from there. So that is how you can upload. Uh, okay. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. It's been fun. See you all tomorrow. Bring a lot of questions for me. All right. Good night.